Hello there, my beautiful Libra signs. It's Rachael with Dark Knight Coaching. Today's video is all about you, Libra. I do have a lot of messages from Spirit. I pull a traditional Celtic cross spread, which is usually about 10 cards. Sometimes I do a little extra depending on your energy or your vibe. Now, you have a lot going on in your subconscious and you have a lot going on in your general life. There's a lot of opportunities for growth and change here, but it depends on if you're brave and strong and courageous enough to try to change it, to try to alchemize it, to metamorphosize basically from this caterpillar state of mind into this butterfly lifestyle that is here for you. Now, I say this kind of like ominously because your energy is very testing. It's everything that you're going through right now is a lesson, and it's like a testament of your will, of your faith, of your ability to, and willingness to change and really put in the work. Now, if you have been struggling when it comes to love or just finding like pleasure in the little things, I do feel like you will be finding that, but I do feel like it's kind of like it just feels like a bittersweet opportunity. I'm not really sure how, like, this energy just feels very like you're a bit jaded or you're a bit tired of people from the past or people who have done you dirty, and you're just like you're very much so over that energy. But I do feel like you're still a little bit like in leaning into this like immature mindset of pursuing lusty energy, like instant gratification type of vibes. And this could be when it comes to like love partners or things like that, but it could also be just like, you know, blowing all your money at the racetrack or like betting on the wrong horses and, you know, kicking yourself later. It could be that kind of energy as well. Just something to do with bad habits or patterns in life that don't necessarily serve you, but they kind of feel good. So I do feel like you're hopefully trying to move out of this, but if you're watching this reading, you're here for help, and that's why I'm here to do, Libra. So hopefully I can help you on your journey here, and I can kind of help get you back on track, because I feel like you're falling off the rails like a little bit. So, and obviously, you know, if this message, what I said right there, if it's triggering you, chances are I probably hit the nail on the head. So if something in this message resonates, please smash that like button, Libra. It helps my channel grow, and I greatly, greatly appreciate you. I am here to help you. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to just like be kind of a guru or a guide or a shaman or whatever you want to call it. Basically, you know, I'm a tarot reader and I do this for free. So take what resonates and leave whatever doesn't for somebody else. If you're interested in a life coaching session or a personalized tarot reading with your energy, I am an intuitive reader and like a psychic, so I can tap into your energy and really feel what's going on for you. Now, your current vibe right now is the moon. There is a lot happening with the moon in September, so you will probably be very impacted by the eclipses that are occurring in the North Node. I think that's going into Pisces on the 2nd. No, I can't remember. New moon's in Virgo on the 2nd. I think maybe the 18th. I think the 18th. You'll have to check the lunar calendar, but there's something about an eclipse in Pisces that's going to be significant and bring some revelations for you. Now, with the moon being in your current energy, like you're not seeing something clearly, or there's stuff like you can't quite understand. Your advice here from Spirit is temperance. This is all about balancing your head and your heart and trying to get them on the same page. So I do feel like you're kind of at a battle with yourself, like what should you do logically versus what brings you pleasure, and it's just trying to find this balance. Now, temperance is a Sagittarian sign, and it is all about also like having patience when it comes to yourself and other people. The next card I have is, what is this illusion, or what is all of this happen? Why is all of this happening? What is this built on? And it's built on some past pain that you're still not quite over. So you've been grieving someone, some sort of loss. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a friendship or a family member or a loved one or something like that. It doesn't have to be like they died and they're gone. It can be like they're not in your life anymore, and it's just you have regret or remorse over past actions and past situations. But don't give up, because there's 2 more cups here. There's more opportunities for growth if you choose to take it. And just like the temperance card, there's 2 cups there as well. So it's like the 2 cups you have left over, Spirit really wants you to try to balance out those energies. And don't let like pain or grief smack you like a tsunami wave. You kind of have to let it wash over you, and then you just kind of bobble up again. That's kind of how grief works. It's like you let the waves hit you. Sometimes they can pull you under, but they can only pull you under as long as you let them. So you have to really try to alchemize the pain, which is not an easy thing to do, and I don't say that lightly. Now, another card in regards to the past here is the Page of Pentacles. This is an opportunity for study or growth, or possibly a new job opportunity or something that has come into your life. It's basically, this card is like a seed, a tangible seed that you can plant and water and grow and turn into something great. Maybe you're studying tarot, maybe you're studying spirituality, maybe you're studying astronomy or astrology or both, and you're really wanting to start the seeds of something new here, and this is a chance for you to do that if you choose to follow through with it. Now, the next card I have, which is your present vibe, your present energy, is also the Alchemist. So you are trying to make lemonade from the lemons that life gives you. I do feel like you're hopeful in it, and you're really trying to use everything you have to start something new. And your future energy was a great energy to have for this. It's Knight of Wands, so this is a fast moving energy, and I had a clarifier for this, which was the King of Wands, and it's really tangibly putting the work into your creative ventures. So it's something that's going to be like your passion project or bring you a lot of joy. Now, for a lot of you who are like, oh no, this is like, I want love, I've been waiting for love. Well, the Knight of Wands is an opportunity for love in your near future. Now, the Knight of Wands is not the best love offer to get. It's a very hot and heavy, quickly over card. Like, it's a lusty energy that's not really going to bring a whole lot of long-term benefits. But, the King of Wands is passion and creatively putting yourself out there in a positive way, typically, but just be leery of that if it's love you're here and interested in, Libra. Now, the next card I have is all about like what is in your control at this time. And with all of these swords in your back, Libra, I don't feel like you feel like a whole lot is in your control. And you might be a little bit right, because I do feel like this is a divinely timed situation in your life, because the Wheel of Fortune was the next card, which usually has to do with the divine timing. And you have the Moon, Temperance, the Magician, Wheel of Fortune. You also have the Devil and your subconscious energy, and that's 5 major arcana when I only pulled about 12 cards. That's very significant and very it's telling me basically that this is a major shift in your life. This is a major chapter, an end closing, and it's time to bury the hatchet, because I don't know, that's just the message I'm hearing here. It's like, bury the hatchet. You're going to have to move on and out of this backstabby energy in order to move forward. Now, how do people see you in this situation? The Wheel of Fortune came out. People see you as lucky. I know that may make some of you chuckle pretty hard, but they do. They see you as lucky, or maybe just very wise from your situations and scenarios. So maybe they envy you and you don't even realize it, Libra, because you're a very creative sign, and typically a lot of people lack creativity or originality. So somebody might be envying you, not for like your tangible fruits, like what you actually have in regards to like family, money, whatever. It might just be like they're envying your creativity here. So yeah. Anyways, the next card I have for you is like, what are your hopes and fears? Love. You're either very hopeful for true love, or you're very afraid of true love, or maybe it's a little bit of both. I feel like it's a little bit of both for you, Libra, because you're Libra. So I know how you function. Now, the next card I have is Outcome, Page of Wands. Another Wands card. You have, 3 Wands cards here. That's a lot of fire energy. That's a lot of creativity and passion and those sorts of idea spark things. But with this Page of Wands being in your outcome, you're on the cusp of making a decision that is going to almost be based on a very quick decision. So I would just advise you to be cautious when it comes to this, because your subconscious energy was the devil, and that's all about like bad habits, ego, fear. So if you're leading with that and you're not following your heart space energy, or you're not aligned with your head and your heart cohesively, you're going to be leading from a place of fear. And sometimes when you have that with the Page of Wands, the two combined can be like a very immature mindset. And that's usually when you get yourself into trouble, because if you're lacking in emotional maturity, those people end up in jail. All right. So just think about that. So that's, I know that's a very weird specific message, Libra, but it's true. People who cannot control their emotions are usually the people who end up in jail and prison, because they don't know when to say no to themselves even. So yeah, just watch yourself. And I think you're doing it, but it's all about this temperance energy. So make sure you're doing some like grounding and meditating and things like that. All right, Libra, that's what I have for you when it comes to tarot. Again, if this message resonated, please smash that like button. It helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and dive into oracle cards for you. I have about 9 cards to pull. And I'm also seeing 1111 on the clock right there. So some of you might be seeing 1111. Usually that's symbolic of a change or a portal, a new opportunity for growth. You have the Warrior card. This is a pretty cool card. I don't think I've ever pulled this before. Some of you might be dealing with like a Taurus sign, just because of the bull with the horns. This is a very... really just a magical card, because the rainbow usually symbolizes a portal or a bridge, and I do feel like you're trusting yourself, and I feel like you know what you need to do to like step up and be a boss babe, or like a boss boy, or whatever you want to call yourself. And I do feel like you're going to transmute the pain. You're going to be this magician, this master alchemizer, and you're going to be a warrior because of all of the knives that you took out of your back that somebody put in there, and you're going to use them now. And and you're going to not seek vengeance, but you're going to be just and fair. And you're going to bury the hatchet. And that's probably the wisest thing you could do at this time. Now, I'm not saying, I don't condone letting people get away with certain things, but, you have to use discernment there, because everybody's situation is different. You have the cat card. That's interesting as well. So if you have a cat, this is just a synchronicity for you. Or if you've been thinking about getting a cat, or you've been seeing a cat, that just might be a significant message for you. It says, let's follow the spirit animal and embark on a profound journey of self-discovery. Now, cats are spiritual warriors, so keep that in mind. They are here to help us, to protect us, to guide us. Cats do ward off negative energies or entities. If you don't believe me, then I don't know why you're watching tarot, because that's pretty out there. So yeah, the next card I have for you is, I let go of what is no longer serving me, and I am open to what is. Bury the hatchet, man, woman, whatever you identify as. All right, the next card is from my Moon Oracle deck. This is, oh goodness, okay, yeah. I feel like you're a chosen one, Libra. If you're watching this, you're totally a chosen one, because this is the chosen one card. When you and your loved ones are safe, New Moon in Cancer, this is about being a chosen one, because you are protected, you are guided, and you are a warrior. You're a spiritual warrior. If you're not, physically like fit enough to be a warrior, you're definitely a spiritual warrior, emotionally and mentally. And when you increase your energy, Libra, you raise the vibration of the whole collective, okay? It's not just you that you're helping and healing and fixing. It's everybody, because we're all interconnected. Now, this next card says it's time to release the negativity. New Moon in Scorpio. So something might be significant about a Scorpio, or something might be shifting for you in Scorpio time frame, which, Scorpio is kind of the like death energy. So something's dying off some part of you in a good way, okay? This is number 15. It says integrity. To have integrity is to be at one with oneself and with reality. It means being honest about your capacities and not exaggerating the importance of your role, and not getting caught up in a personal story or identifying the work with worth. You are free to do what needs to be done. And what is the simple reality? How might you return to the state of balance? And what if it didn't all depend on you? Very interesting. I do feel like that also has to do with like, you're not your past either. So don't identify yourself by everything that's happened to you, because that doesn't, it makes you who you are, but it doesn't necessarily define you. So keep that in mind as well, Libra. Like things that maybe you had to do to survive, that's not who you are. It's just traits of your personality that, or roles you had to play in order to get where you needed to be in life. Now, this card is my Power of Love deck card. It says humility. You have developed the loving awareness that you and everyone else are on the same page, but you're on different paths. And again, I feel like that's this bury the hatchet energy, because somebody did hurt you in the past, but I feel like it's taught you a humble lesson. Basically, it's a lesson you needed to learn, and maybe you judged somebody harshly before, and now you're kind of being on the other side of that narrative. Like, I don't know how else to phrase that. And this is a no shame, okay, Libra? Like, this is like everyone experiences humble things. Life humbles us to remind us that we are all human. Humility is something no one can escape, and sometimes we don't understand someone's perspective, and we might judge them incorrectly or harshly for it because we've never walked in their shoes. And then until we do, we didn't, there's things we didn't realize. Like, for instance, I had a friend, like a high school friend, and I got married at a very young age, and I'm a pretty reserved person, so I don't like to divulge like a bunch of personal information about my relationships to others typically. But, in this instance, this is a long time ago, so I don't really care anymore. But I had a friend, and she dated this, like, the worst guy ever. Like, I could not stand him. He was a total tool, took advantage of her. He walked all over her like a doormat. And I never understood what she saw in him, or like what the draw was, or where the attraction like would even lie. And, he treated her very bad and did her dirty a lot of times. And I never got it, because I didn't see how someone could be attracted to another person who just kind of takes advantage of them fully, until I had been in a situation where I really, really, was in love with this person. I really wanted them to like be with me. So I did anything for them. I bent over backwards. And then, in the end, I ended up being a doormat, because I thought that love was compromising and giving up parts of myself in order to please someone else. And it totally backfired. And that was my humble lesson about humility. And, fortunately for me, I learned my lesson. Unfortunately for her, she's still learning the lesson. So she's still with that person to this day. And it's been many, many years since then. But I understand, that she's on her own path, her own journey. No one can tell her what to do or how to think or who to love. And it's just not her time yet. So maybe that's something that you've experienced, Libra. Or, let me know in the comments if it is or if it isn't. But the next card I have for you is all about your third eye intuition. So how can you hone your intuitive skills? How can you practice? And Spirit is telling you to sit with your body and truly work with your intuition. Do you have an odd or pressing feeling that is telling you something, but you don't know what? Pay attention to any feelings and see where they lead. Now, sometimes if we've not been trained to, there's got to be a better word for that. If we've not been taught how to feel feelings or know what feelings we're feeling, it can be very difficult, even at an older age, to understand or, have a foundational idea of what it is we are experiencing. So right now, some of you might even be like trying to understand what it is you're feeling. And my advice to you is to, like, if you're trying to meditate or sit with yourself or breathe, maybe even just write down what it is you think you're feeling, and, give yourself permission to be able to feel multiple things at once. There's a Casey Musgraves song that's like happy and sad at the same time. And, that might be relevant to you, especially, for my humility situation or my humble lesson, one of them in my lifetime, when I, realized that I had been very much so like my friend at the time. I was happy and sad at the same time, because I was happy that I could see and be self-aware enough to know what it was that I was doing, and being with that person was essentially not love. It was limerence, and I was really just only hurting myself. But I was also very sad because then I understood not only that person and why I was with them, but my friend and why I had judged her so unkindly. And yeah, that was just... So you might be feeling many things at once, and that's totally okay. Now, the next card I have for you is the tribe. Maybe you've been trying to find a soul tribe. Maybe you've been trying to find people who are doing the shadow work and the healing work with you. I do feel like that's going to be coming sometime. I know sometime is vague. There's a number 8 on here. I will pull a number card just to see what Spirit says about when this tribe is finding you, Libra. And sometimes it does take time. 4 months. Okay. 4 months. 2 weeks to 4 months. That's what the cards say, so take that as it resonates. But also know, maybe your soul tribe is right here. Maybe that is how it is just for now, until you can, get enough alchemy in you, until you get enough lemonade to be able to want to go outside and enjoy it. You know what I mean? So don't be too hard on yourself, because we're all shifting and changing. And people who haven't done healing or shadow work, again, they're just not on the same page, and that might be hard to relate to someone. Or, people who have never experienced trauma, they don't quite understand the inner work or the inner strength or the inner warrior that's required to heal yourself. And that may not resonate with you all of the time, but that's okay too, because we have to kind of be accepting of people and their roles that they play in our lives. Now, this is interesting because this is the facade card. So this is a getting rid of the mask card, losing people or facets of yourself that were built on illusion to survive. And I do feel like you're ridding yourself of that. Now, this is tied to the solar plexus, which is symbolized by the yellow on the outside of this card. I like to think of the solar plexus as our narcissistic and empathetic centers, basically. It's like, which side are you leaning on? Because if you lean on the narcissistic side, you're living in a facade. If you lean on the empathic side, you're kind of living in a people pleaser mode. Now, narcissists can be toxic, but so can empaths. I know that sounds contradictory, but empaths can also be toxic, because it's like we take, and then we might snap. And then that's usually a bad sign, because once we've finally snapped, we feel bad for snapping, and then we go back to our people pleasing mode. And that really does bite you in the butt. So you almost need to have a fine balance of empathic tendencies and narcissistic tendencies. It's kind of like the mastery of the solar plexus, as being able to have both cohesively and coexist, basically. So that was a long reading, wasn't it? All right, Libra, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Smash that like button. Hopefully this helped. If it did, I would love to hear from you. Thank you for being here. You're doing the healing work. I appreciate you. Spirit appreciates you. I just want you to know you are loved, you are valued, you are seen. And thank you so much. I will see you next time, Libra.